Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is they will make you the bad guy or the villain if you move to the Philippines, especially if it's to find a girlfriend or wife. And this is gonna be a more serious video. I'll try to make it like a little lighthearted at times and add some jokes and stuff. But yeah, it sucks. I just want to warn people before they come out here, it's a beautiful country with lots of beautiful people, lots of friendly people, beautiful beaches. But back home, it's not always sunshine and stuff. They're going to talk bad about you. So I just want to be sincere and upfront, give everyone a fair warning about what to expect. So there's a couple different scenarios that happens. The first scenario might pertain to the older crowd, the ones that are about to retire or at retired age. And they're going to talk bad about you and basically label you the P word. Like I'll use the other P word, like you're a pervert, just going after the young girls and stuff. And barely legal, like the agency likes to use that term a lot. To turn something completely fine and natural, like 18 and above, they're an adult, into something that's like gross or icky or something. But, age gaps are very common in America. No one bats an eye over a 25-year-old woman dating a 35-year-old man or something, or a 35 with like a 55. It's only in the Philippines that they have an issue with it because it's a bigger age gap, right? So they don't mind like 5 to 10 years in America, but if it's 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever, 50 in the Philippines, that's when they have a problem with it. And honestly, who cares? It's a different culture. They're fine with it. The people are fine with it. They don't put so much emphasis on age and stuff as they do about love and being able to financially provide for them and give them a better life and all that stuff. And bear with me. I have a fighting a little cold here. I think I have what they call a COVID rebound. I didn't even know about this until just a couple days ago, but it matches up. I had COVID about 2 weeks ago and felt better about 8 days ago, and then almost 3 weeks ago now. 8 days ago, I took the Paxlovid medicine. It does help, but yeah, the rebound stuff, if that's what it is, it sucks. But anyways, sorry about the rabbit trail there. The other thing is, if you're a young guy and you're going overseas, number two, they'll say, well, why can't you find a girl your own age back home? Or why can't you find a girl back home in your own country? And for a lot of us, we did. We found plenty of girls in our own country, and they all turned out terrible. We were miserable with them, either because the culture or we just weren't compatible or looking for different things or whatever. I had a pretty serious girlfriend or two in college, and had I was married and had mostly long-term relationships, 3 or 4 that were several years, and some of them were 7 to 10 years, so I could find a girl back home. I had no problem with that, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. And that's another attack you'll have, regardless of your age, young or old. It's just what's wrong with you? Why can't you find someone in your own country? So no matter what you do, you're going to be the villain here. So the third thing is, why are you going to these poor third world countries? You're just looking for someone to be, your servant or your slave, or you're just looking to manipulate someone, blah, blah, blah. And that's that couldn't be further from the truth. Most of us just want a nice, good, old-fashioned traditional wife. And yeah, that's not, the whole idea they're your servant or slave, that's not even true. you're most of these women they actually prefer that lifestyle. Like they want to be the stay-at-home wife and mom. They want to have a family. They want the guy to be the leader and to provide. And so like this idea like you're manipulating them. How are you manipulating them if that's what they're looking for? Like that's what they want in life. Like, the feminist movement was all supposed to be about choice. Yeah, yeah, you could go to work all day and have a career if you want to, or you could be a stay-at-home mom. And like that's fine, but like these days I was like, no, 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 don't do that. And it's like, well, which one is it? Like, you're supposed to be about choice, not like they're trying to actually control them and make everyone do that. And like, no, like that's not what they want. And you're providing them with a much better lifestyle. And like the idea that you'll just manipulate them and control them, good luck. Like these girls, like a lot of them, they can't be controlled. That if you try, it won't work. They will quickly lay down the law and let you know, like, that's not how the relationship's going to be. So, yeah, it's just really silly. But yeah, it's like no matter what you do, you're going to be the bad guy here, and you're going to be the villain. And like I said, I just want to warn everyone. And the fourth situation is, say you're the good guy, and you finally have enough, and you end up leaving or divorcing your wife or whatever back home. And this is a really rare phenomenon, especially with good men, because like 8 out of 10 divorces are initiated by the women, right? And then 9 out of 10 if they're college educated. It's just a statistic fact. So only like 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 men are the ones to actually leave. Especially if they're a good man. Like they're not out there cheating and playing the field and I found someone else. Like that's not what they're doing. So it's really rare for a good man to pack up and leave. Usually we stay around, we try to make it work, we do it for the kids, so, we have that old-fashioned values and religious upbringing. But like everyone has a breaking point, and finally, like enough is enough. The relationship's so toxic, it's so unhealthy that they have to get out. Either she's cheating or abusing him mentally or physically, or like he's just trapped in a sexless marriage and miserable all the time. And one day he has to go, right? He has to leave. And that alone will be very healthy for him, just to get out of that terrible environment. But, just a new home, a new lifestyle, a new scenario, removing the poison and toxin will be great for him. But also meeting someone else who's more loving and caring and actually loves him and cares about his needs and wants to please him and wants to make him happy, like that will be completely life-changing and literally transform his life and make it so much better, and he'll be so much happier and healthier and everything. And but they're not going to see it that way. They're going to look at you like, oh, you abandoned her and blah, blah, blah. And like, never mind that you stuck with her for years in a terrible situation and you did everything you could to fix it, but she didn't do anything to change or try to change anything. And you begged her for years to, we need to work on this. And it was like she didn't do nothing. It's only after you left that, oh, woe is me, and he's not answering my calls, or he blocked me, or he's dating someone. Like, no, like, you were together 10 years, and you put in zero effort, and he begged you for years to change, and you didn't, and now you're going to try to make him out to be the bad guy? Like, that's ridiculous. And it's just, like, this huge cultural, like, double standard, because if a man did that, like, he'd be labeled, like, terrible and horrible and abusive, and like emotionally, what is it? No, I can't even. Sorry, I mean, negligent and yeah, distant, and wasn't there for her and didn't care about her needs, and didn't really love her. They'd all be like there and patting her on the head, like it'll be okay. But like a guy does it, it's like, oh, he's like the new supervillain, like. He's a terrible person. Like, shame on him. And like, unfortunately, this will even come from like family and friends and people at church and like gossip and stuff. And like, oh, I can't believe he would just leave her and blah blah blah. It's like, I mean, they some of them, their hearts are in the right place, but they don't know what they're talking about. It's like, yes, he grew up in the church and he's a good man, but like he's not even in a marriage, you know, like she's cheating all the time, or they like they haven't had sex in like 7 years or something. Like that's not married. You're just a roommate. Like you're living together. You're just with like she's a nun and he's a priest. You know, he didn't sign up for that. Um, you know, or he's a monk. Yeah, he didn't sign up for that lifestyle. Like that's not like a physical, intimate relationship. Like, that's not a marriage. Like, you know. And yeah, you can work on it, but there's only so much you can work on before you're like, this isn't gonna work. I've been working on it. She's not even trying, or you know, if you're incompatible, you're incompatible. I just want to warn you guys, like, you know, no matter what you do, you're gonna be the villain, and just be prepared for that. Whether if you're older and you're dating a younger girl, or you just want to find a more traditional woman, they're going to label you all sorts of terrible things. Like, how dare you? You should want a modern woman back home. Or, like, if you leave because you're in a toxic relationship and you finally got to get out of it, like, how dare you leave her? Like, you know, and it's one thing like if you have kids and stuff. It's something else if you don't have kids and you're single, or you know, but it's a different situation. But regardless, like at the end of the day, eventually it's your life. You gotta make the best of it, and you gotta live with your own life choices. And yeah, you know, like the Batman quote, like you live long enough and you'll become the villain. You know, like Batman's a good guy. Like you know. And like, just be prepared for it. Like, this has even happened to me. And like, I grew up in the church, and I'm pretty old fashioned. I still have some of my religious beliefs, and like, I donated like thousands of hours to charities. I did all the Bible studies and stuff. Yeah, I helped in inner city downtown ministries. I did the camps. Like, I did so much growing up and gave, like, money and volunteered and did missions trips. But, like, to some people, I'm going to be the bad guy. Or they're going to be scared to let me near their kids or, you know, whatever. Because, like, oh, she's closer in age to your girlfriend than your girlfriend is to you. And, like... They do all this like crazy comparisons, like their kid's like 6 and your girlfriend's like 18, 21. Oh, so they're closer in age, but like no, like don't try to make you out to be like something you're not, or make this out to be like a pervy thing, or like the P thing, because like she's a legal adult, and you know it's a completely different situation. But like some people are going to be uncomfortable just because of the age gap. And you just need to be ready for it. Like, as long as you're mentally ready for it, you'll be okay. But I just want to warn you up front that this sort of thing, unfortunately, does happen. There's lots of stigma with the Philippines. And, oh, yeah, one final thing, like, the whole, like, passport bros thing. And, like, people confusing that with, like, sexpats, right? So, like, a sexpat is, like, someone who's traveling all over the Philippines, like, just for sex. Like, they're having a sex holiday or whatever. You know, just they're just looking to hook up and have fun and do their thing. Where, like, a passport bro is someone that goes overseas to find a wife. Like, you know, because that's the whole point. Like, he doesn't want a wife back home. You know, he wants to find one overseas, finds with someone better. But they're going to try to paint you as the same, like you're some sort of pervert just there to get laid a lot and sleep around. Like, that's not the same. Like, your passport bro, you're trying to find a better wife. Like, you're dating to get married. But they're going to try to put, like, people on social media, like, they're trying to make it the same. to put you down and make you, because they don't like the movement, right? So they're going to try to make you and everyone else in it look bad. And yeah, don't let them do that. Like, you know you're not that type of guy. You're here to find a good woman. Don't let them control the narrative and put words in your mouth that you're not. Like, yeah, but yeah, that's that's like the fifth warning there. But yeah, come to the Philippines, like live long enough, you're the hero and you'll become the villain. Unfortunately, it's just a sad fact of life. But I want to warn everyone before they come up here, like they're gonna have friends or family or coworkers or people you thought your friends on social media like talk bad about you. And that's fine. Like screw them. Like just leave them. They're literally thousands of miles away anyways. You'll probably never see them again. But yeah, you just gotta be mentally prepared for it. Anyway, so that's it for today. Hopefully you liked the video. It's a little bit more serious and longer. If you watch the whole thing, I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for more videos like this. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys. See you next time. God bless. Peace.